Congratulations, for you have finally reached the corner of the internet where they actually give you study advice instead of just tips that every single person on this planet already knows about. This video isn't going to be one of those videos with more flashy graphics than actual material, so if you are looking for cheap dopamine, please kindly exit this video at this point. But if you are committed to learning how to actually make and stick to study plans, watch till the end, because I assure you that this is going to be helpful, because I am a top student and I have been using these methods for years on end. So let's begin. So when you think of study plans, you may just think of making a to-do list and that's it, but no. I firmly believe that there are lots of stages to making a structured study plan. So the first one is to clarify what you actually need to study that semester. Of course, you need to lay down which subjects you're going to study. And for each of those subjects, you need to make a list of what material you are going to study for each subject. So this could include textbooks and workbooks or like lectures. And then you should actually go and buy stuff like this that you need to buy yourself outside of school, so you are prepared for the semester ahead. The second stage of making a study plan is, you may think it's monthly, but actually it is weekly, because like how many months are there even in a semester? Like around 4 to 5 months, and we take 2 exams, midterms and finals. So before each exam you only have 2 to 3 months. If you just went and split this entire plan into 2 to 3 months, it wouldn't even make sense, because like it would still just be a giant load of work you have to do and not specific at all. So that is why we do not make monthly plans separately, but we just move on straight to weekly plans. So let's say you have 10 weeks before your midterms. You begin by splitting your workload into these 10 weeks, but you don't just go and divide the workload by 10, because that would be stupid. You are going to make a roadmap. Now this is important. Say you have 10 weeks. You are going to divide these weeks into chunks of things you are going to study. So, for example, in the first 3 weeks, you could focus on reviewing your classes and just keep up with what you're actually learning at school in real time. And a tip to use during this period is spaced repetition. You can just go look it up, and I do have a video up about memorization strategies on my channel, so you can go watch that. And then, like, when it actually gets closer to your midterms, you should not only be reviewing, that is memorizing, but you should also be doing practice questions. So I'm not saying you have to follow this exact roadmap, but what I am saying is that you should split the time you have left into chunks that represent different stages of learning that you are going to go through before you actually are prepared to ace your tests. This is just an example that I'm giving you guys that is effective in my case. And like approaching the actual exams, you could do mock tests and active recall to really lock in those concepts in your memory. So this is an example of a roadmap that you can make. So once you make this roadmap, you need to divide up your workload based on this roadmap. That is why making this roadmap is crucial to your studies. So once you're finished making this, you're going to have like 3 large workloads. Obviously, you don't have to divvy up your workload into 3 chunks. This is just what I'm showing you guys in this example. And now you are going to divide these large chunks into smaller weekly chunks. And those weekly chunks are going to be your weekly plans. So again, in this example, you could divide each chunk of work into 3 sections, and each chunk would be 1 week's worth of studying. Once you do that, you have a week by week to-do list. Okay, let's do a quick recap. First, you are going to look at your entire semester. Then you are going to make weekly plans. but you are going to make a roadmap leading up to each exam so as to make a basis for these weekly plans. So moving on. Now, if you followed this guide I'm giving you, you should have a long list of to-dos for each week. So here I'm going to make another example for you guys, and let's say this is the to-do list you have for week 1. How are you going to effectively split these tasks up into each day of the week and actually not procrastinate on them and follow through and ace those exams? So I've just gone and written down the days of the week. So you may have the urge to just like grab all these tasks and make full day study plans for each day, but that would lead you to certain failure. It's such a been there, done that sort of thing. So the first great big important principle is that you need to have a buffer day. You need to have at least one buffer day. Okay, understood? So you can make that the weekend, or you could just grab a random day of the week that you feel like you are going to lose motivation on and make that your buffer day. For example, Wednesday, because it's like smack dab in the middle of the weekdays, so it's not a bad way to take this. So once you have a buffer day of your choice, any day, actually, any day, you can pick any day you want, you are going to take these tasks and schedule them for the remaining days. That would be 6 days in this case. So you could divide by 6. That is the first way to take this, but another way is to this is important, so I'm going to write this in a different color, but pre-cram. This is a very important concept that I invented myself for my use, and it has proved to be very effective up till this point. So let me explain. Pre-cramming is what it literally means. You cram your tasks, and unlike traditional cramming, in which you're like right before the deadline and you are so panicked and you aren't even absorbing any of the material, pre-cramming is when you schedule deep work hours early in the week and get the majority of your work done during that period. Even if you screw up on these deep work days, you still have the rest of the week to catch up and take your time. And if you succeed in completing the bulk of the work in the beginning of the week, that would be even better because you have the rest of the week to spend as you wish. So pre-cramming is a very, very effective strategy that I occasionally use when I'm planning out my weeks. So after dividing up your weekly to-do list with one of these two methods, you are actually going to live that week. Because planning isn't a process that just ends easily like that. You have to take it with you every step of the way. So what I've just been explaining to you was how to plan out your days each day of the week. And the next step is to evaluate. So remember that weekly plan we made earlier? You are actually going to live this week, and you are going to try really hard to stick to the plans you made in step 3. But you are human, and no matter how determined you are on Monday, that motivation is going to wear off whether you want it to or not by like the middle of the week. It's gonna go away, poof. So that's where buffer days come in really handy. But even so, you could procrastinate a lot and you could like end up with a bunch of work that is left over. So that is why step 4 is actually the most important part of making study plans that actually work. This part is linked to step 4. Because even if you think it's the perfect study plan, it may not be the perfect study plan for you. If you guys remember from step 3, there are many ways to structure your week. The first thing you can adjust to your liking is buffer days and the amount of them and where they are placed. So you could have 2 buffer days, you could have 1 buffer day, you could make it a Wednesday, you could make it a Monday, you could make it a Saturday. That is your choice, and no one can tell you what is the right plan for you unless you actually live it. So throw away your perfectionism and just perfect it as you go. And the second way I explained earlier about how you can adjust your week as you wish is to decide how you are going to divide up your tasks. So you can divide by the number of work days you have, or you can pre-cram. So if you are a person that likes routine and stability, this would probably be the right method for you. But if you are like kind of addicted to dopamine and you want like full rest days, you can rest without guilt, this would be the better method for you. But again, this differs by person, so you really need to live it out before you can actually figure out what's right for you. So that is why I am saying this 4th step is important for the millionth time. So after a few weeks, you should have the hang of actually being able to stick to your study plans. And that concludes how you make and stick to study plans. You could probably also become a top student if you actually executed these 4 steps, because I am living evidence of it. So that concludes today's lesson, and I really hope it was helpful to you guys. But let me tell you just one more thing before you go. You may not be able to stumble upon this specific corner of the internet ever again, because videos with actual substance are becoming more and more rare, because the influx of new videos every single day is enormous. So that is why I encourage you to subscribe. Seriously.